I'm Marion Berger, the head programmer of the African Film Festival of Cordoba for 7 years.
You must have looked at enormous numbers of films in order to put the festival together this year. What can you say about the films that you've seen from all the different directions?
Well, it's quite complicated to answer to this question because of the big numerous of films. I guess there is a big variety in all the production of the continent, but this year I've been very attentive with my co-programmer to the Algerian films.
And what is it about the Algerian films particularly that attracts you?
I think what is quite new and quite different from other cinematographies right now in the continent, it's all the different individuals, filmmakers, young filmmakers, are making film very personal and very independent. The fact they have a few budget to make their film, the fact there is no system to finance, or not really a strong system to finance film in Algeria, makes that they are really independent and personal, and there is something very interesting in that and in the film.
And the low budget, do you think the low budget focuses them more creatively?
Maybe. I don't want to generalize this because it's quite dangerous too, but I think yes, sometimes the low budget is can be positive to be more creative without not so much resources to make what you want. It forces you to be more creative. The young filmmakers accept the situation right now to make one film or two films. It was they were saying to me this morning to make a film with low budget, the first film or the second film, but there is a moment that it's so hard and so strong to make a film in these conditions. They want to be more lazy to do it.
They want a bigger budget in the future.
Yes, in a certain way, easiest conditions to make film.
So, which of the Algerian filmmakers, what are the names we should be looking for?
Well, here in Cordoba came, for example, Hassan Ferrani, who made short films called Tarzan, Don Quixote and nous.
Yeah, and what was the story?
So it's Tarzan, Don Quixote and nous, a sort of a trip in the Algiers city, following the trails of Don Quixote,
right.
but also Tarzan.
Right. And give me another one. Give me another example of an Algerian filmmaker.
There is a film of Jamil Belloussif also, C'est dans la boîte, a film made in France, about a neighborhood that will erase.
Yeah.
And it's a command, but Jamil totally conturned the main subject and decided to make his own film without taking care about the command. And he followed two young people in this neighborhood who made him visit the neighborhood. And what is interesting too is the playing with the limit between fiction and documentary. Play with the public, the audience.
Yeah, and their expectations.
Tricks the spectator,
the public, right.
The audience.
Who don't know anymore what is true and what is fake, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's something which is repeated in several Algerian films, which is very interesting for me. There are films who reflect about cinema. I think it's not only to tell a story about a reality of a country, but there is a real reflection about how to tell and
the way you tell the story.
The way you tell a story.
It's like the documentary last year about the Virgin Mary appearing to the Copts in Egypt.
Mm. Yes, well,
yeah.
Yes, I guess we can
draw a comparison.
Make the comparison.
Yeah.
Yes, about this game between what is mise en scène.
Yeah, what is the mise en scène?
Yeah.
What is the mise en scène, or what is reality? Only film the reality.
And Just lastly, what other than the Algerian films do you think are particularly interesting this year?
I mean, well, what for me it's what yes, so there are individual films, and maybe it's a coincidence that several filmmakers are doing something really interesting, and they are investigating about cinema right now and thinking about a new way to make films, about something necessary, and maybe Nairobi Half-Life. What is important, it's reflect a certain dynamism of the production in those countries, East Africa and Kenya in particular.
Yeah.
It's an important phenomenon, I mean, because it's quite new also. Jeppe On A Friday, yes, a film more sociological, which retakes the cine verite of the 70s, filming a neighborhood in just one day.
Yeah.
Following different characters representing the different social classes of the new South African society, and a reflection about, we talked a lot in South Africa, the debate is concentrated about this famous Rainbow Nation, and about it's told that the Rainbow Nation is the peaceful nation after the apartheid, and the film critiques a little bit nuances this vision of
reflects the reality,
and yes, and shows how there is fractures between different social classes still.